Am I the asshole? For cheating my coworker out of a free meal. I work with this woman Lydia who has a very annoying habit. She has a dating profile that she uses specifically to lure guys to buying her expensive dinners at restaurants she wants to try and then ghosts them. Lydia brags about this all the time and is never interested in actually dating, but she'll act like it to sell it. I can't stand this because it's playing with people's hearts, but Lydia thinks of it as a life hack to try food or drink she otherwise couldn't afford. My friend Daniel is also on dating sites, but for the right reasons. His late wife died a few years ago, and he's just started jumping back into the dating scene. Daniel's a very sweet guy, and I really want him to find a great lady for him. A few days ago, he texted me asking if I knew Lydia. They matched and got to talking about work, which is how he found out we worked at the same place. I told him all about Lydia's BS with the restaurant thing, and made it very clear to him he would do best to drop things with her early on. Daniel said he'd probably still do the date, but ask for separate checks. Well, they went out this past weekend, and on Monday Lydia came into work very upset. I asked her how her date with Daniel went, and she ripped into me asking if I was the one who told him not to pay for her dinner. Apparently she had Daniel take her to a high-end steakhouse and she ended up splurging. She got a drink, a full entree with a side and dessert where Daniel just ordered a sandwich and salad. Her bill alone came to 70-something, and she was almost in tears at work as she didn't expect to pay for it and now her car was low on gas. I got a little upset too as she tried to use my friend as a literal meal ticket, but somehow she doesn't see it that way. Daniel told me later the date was going kind of well until he asked for separate checks, and then Lydia just got weirdly cold. So now Lydia's mad at me because I told someone about her little tactic and it backfired on her. I don't feel like I did anything wrong since it was a grieving friend I was protecting, but some other people we work with said I should have stayed out of it because it was none of my businesses. Not the asshole, she did this to herself. You didn't cheat her out of anything. Her shameful ruse didn't work. If she can't afford her food, then she shouldn't go to the restaurant. You did what was right and protected your friend from a scammer. The people saying you did wrong are people with opinions not worth caring about. Not the asshole, her luck finally ran out. I question why Daniel still went ahead with the date after you clued him in, unless it was to show her up, in which case, fair play, it's my kind of petty. Not the asshole, this is a con known as lonely heart scam or just romance scam. You pretend to be romantically interested in someone, suck up as many gifts as you can, then ghost them. They often target widowers because they're emotionally vulnerable. Lydia will deny it up and down because she doesn't see herself that way, but she's literally a con artist taking advantage of people. Not the asshole. TBH, I'm surprised that it doesn't happen to her more often. As a guy, if I were taking someone to dinner on a date and saw them splurge at the expensive end of the menu, I'd call for separate bills at the end of the evening just to gauge the reaction. It would tell you an awful lot about your date. Not the asshole, men are not meal tickets. She's hurting people by just using them for food. You warned your friend who wants a true relationship after the death of his wife that she wasn't what he was looking for. You protected him. You did nothing wrong. Lydia needs to pay for her own meals. She FAFO'd. You protected a friend from a predatory person you happen to know and work with, and good for you. Not the asshole. It was your business, Daniel is your friend and you protected him. You would have been a bad friend if you didn't warn him. I wish there was a way the other people she is gonna date were informed too. Not the asshole, Lydia has been lying and exploiting people to get a thrill and a fancy meal. She is an ash, and the same goes for your coworkers that criticize you. Not the asshole. Dates are supposed to be two people wanting to know each other, and both parties should have the capability to pay for their own meal unless the other person insisted to cover the entire bill. The fact that Lydia was mad at you after the date completely validates your decision to warn Daniel about it. Change your perspective and think about this instead. You helped Daniel save some money and you helped Lydia realize that this is the consequences of her actions. Not the asshole. Lydia, however, is a grade A jerk. The fact that she uses men to buy her expensive dinners and then ghosts them is beyond the pale. Maybe this will teach her a lesson, but she sounds entirely too self-centered for it to have a long-term effect. Not the asshole. She's playing with fire. Unfortunately, her scam was thwarted by someone who had an inkling that she was up to no good ahead of time. She will eventually get entangled with someone who absolutely won't let the issue go of paying for an expensive night out with no intention of building on that or reciprocating in other ways to justify the price tag. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And then she will quickly realize that conning men out of fancy dinners is not worth the repercussions. Not the asshole. You even told your friend to just cut ties, and they decided to still do the date. You did your part by warning them, and that's all you could do. It was up to your friend to decide if they would pay for the dinner, and they chose not to. Eventually, Lydia had to know this scam was going to catch up to her. This is why I don't do dinner dates for a first date. Just coffee or snacks, and I establish that I will only be paying for myself during the planning stage. Not the asshole. Lydia is a despicable person. WTF, do they mean it's none of your business? That's your friend, of course it's your business. Protecting your friends from getting hurt is what you're supposed to do. Ask your co-workers if they would have been okay with her pulling this scam on them, and wouldn't they want to know her intentions before she scammed them. Tell your co-workers that it's none of their businesses. A high-end steakhouse and her damage was only 70. 15 drink, 50 steak, 15 appetizer, 9 dessert, tax and tip should have been easy over 100. She got off easy. Not the asshole. It's 2024 and women own their own real estate, have degrees, and their own careers. There is no reason a man should be pressured by society to pay for a woman meal. Especially as strangers. No, not the asshole. Protecting your friend was a considerate action. Using others for free meals under false pretenses is deceptive. It's important to uphold honesty and integrity in interactions. Not the asshole. You did what a good friend would do. Lydia got what she deserved. Not the asshole. Your girlfriend got what she deserved. If I found out a woman purposely did that to me, I purposely would set up a fake dating profile with her information and put in the description that I use men for free meals at expensive restaurants. Not the asshole. Daniel asked, and you gave him advice that saved him from being used by her. She had 70 worth of food and drinks, so she deserves to pay for her 70 of food and drinks. Not the asshole. You didn't cheat anyone. Lydia cheated countless men out of time and money to fund her extravagant meals she wouldn't otherwise be able to afford. That's a really shitty thing for her to do. These aren't ATMs, these are human beings with hopes and feelings she's taking advantage of. You did right by your friend, and that is what matters. Not your kinda slimy coworker. Not the asshole, but some other people we work with said I should have stayed out of it because it was none of my business. This was your grieving friend, so I'd say that totally makes it your business. Moochina McMooch can pay for her own damn dinners. Tell your co-workers it's none of their business either, and they can F right off, and if Lydia wants she can put herself on seeking arrangements where all the other sugar baby escorts belong. Not the asshole. She sounds like a jerk and you wanted to help a friend. Not the asshole. You, my friend, are a king. Your friend is on dating sites to find someone special, and that clearly isn't your coworker. You're a good friend, and quite frankly, she's trashy. Oh, and it became your business when she went after one of your good friends. You're totally in fine here, man. P.S. I can't wait to read this on our Oh No Consequences LOL. Some other people we work with said I should have stayed out of it because it was none of my business. Tell them it's none of theirs either. These people are idiots. Sometimes you have no choice but to get involved in something that's not technically your business. You absolutely did the right thing here. Lydia should be ashamed of herself. Not the asshole.